everybody, what's going on? This is the Sports Judge, Jonathan Mathis, coming live from my patio. Yes, my beautiful backyard. And I am thrilled. I am excited to have a great friend who has decided to join me tonight. My good friend Trey. Now, me and Trey kind of go back a few years because we used to podcast together religiously. And we've had some fun times doing this great stuff. So I'm privileged to have him on with me. What's up, Trey?
Oh man, just loving life right now. Fixing to get some rain down here. But man, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've done a podcast. So I've been transitioning to radio life. So bear with me if I mistake a little bit.
How's that going? Tell me a little bit about it
before. Right now, it's a little breakness. Football's summertime slow down here, so we're getting things ready for football. High school football season coming up in 2 months. So man, and then from there on out, it's just work, and then radio. So like you got to be prepared. You got to get your questions ready. You got to on the fly because I do sideline reporting for the radio for the high school football team here. So you just got to adjust real quick on the fly. So man, it's fun. It's entertaining. If you really love doing this, just go find a local radio station and go see if you can do intern or whatever the case may be. And you could easily they'll let you and just do all the gritty work and then you work your way up. It's pretty fun. So yeah.
You're a busy man. Hey, you know what? I try to do my best to stay busy in this industry as well. It's tough and competitive. You got to be consistent. Consistency is key. It's everything. Speaking of consistency, we have a team that's not very consistent, and that's the Los Angeles Lakers. And that will lead us to our first topic. We're going to talk a little Warriors and Lakers because I know this hits home for you. I know it hits home for you. You're a Warriors fan, so I know you're going for the Warriors. I know you have a sense of belief suddenly that the Warriors can come back and win this series. Now, look, this is where they want to be. The Warriors are comfortable being down because we've seen them come back in the last series. They were down 3-1 against the Sacramento Kings. They pulled off the comeback. This is not the first time. The Warriors know how to respond. They have responded well through adversity. What are your thoughts on this series? And what do the Lakers need to do? And are the Lakers in trouble?
Mm-hmm. Well, you talk about inconsistency, right? Like you talk about the Lakers being inconsistent. Both these teams have been inconsistent all year. Like you don't know what you're like. Warriors go on to get a win streak of like 5 games and they'll lose 6 in a row. Same thing with the Lakers. I'm sorry, the Lakers. They're finally. I give credit where credit is due. I'm not a LeBron fan by any stretch of the imagination. We'll probably get into that a little bit later, but. Rob Pelinka did a phenomenal job. The trade deadline, pulling all the right pieces. He basically saved his job for another 2 or 3 years for what they did this year. But both these teams have not been consistent. But the Lakers, they go through AD, and this is what I'm irritated about this series. Everyone's talking about LeBron and Steph. And it's not. It's AD and Steph, right? Like AD's your world. LeBron can't give you that 30. LeBron James has not scored a 30-point playoff game since the bubble in 2020. Let's let that sink in for a minute. He has not. That was what 3 years ago. So this is not the same LeBron James. LeBron James if you watch this series, LeBron James is tired. I'm not saying that because I'm a hater or anything like that. LeBron James just can't consistently give you that 40, 50-point game. Now, me saying that, he's probably going to do that tomorrow night, but. I just don't think that he's going to do it. It's all about AD and if AD is going to be engaged. And I'm truly not buying into this concussion protocol thing by the Lakers. I just think they don't want to put him in because he'll be out for tomorrow's game, probably Sunday's game if it does make the game 7. I just believe that you're dizzy, you leave on a wheelchair, and there's nothing wrong. I have a hard time believing that. But the Warriors, if I'm a Laker fan, I'm thrilled. If I'm a Warrior fan, I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. But the Lakers got to go through AD, and AD is your power horse. AD, there's no one on the Lakers or the Warriors that can stop AD right now. There's no one that the height. Looney's not fast enough to keep up with AD. Green can do the best he can, but he just can't. He doesn't have the size, right? So they have nobody. They go as far as AD goes, and I mean, let's face it. Everyone's talking about the Lakers being up 3-1, now 3-2. Warriors easily could be up 3-1 too in this series. I think this is an evenly matched series. I really do. It goes back to inconsistency. Jordan Poole's late third, Warriors came back and tied the game one. They could have easily won that game. They turned the ball over. Game two, Warriors win a blowout. Game three, Lakers win a blowout. Game four, Lakers are down 7, and then the Warriors start turning the ball over. Credit to the Lakers defense for doing that, but at the same time, Warriors blew that lead, and I think they know that. So I just think that me being a basketball fan, I think it needs to go 7. I really do, because this is the best series. It's the ratings draw that everyone would want. But in my honest opinion, I honestly think if AD is not AD tomorrow night, I think the Lakers are in trouble. I really do.
I think the Lakers are in trouble regardless, because look, the Warriors are back in this series. The Warriors are back in this series. The Lakers had an opportunity to shut the door, to seal the deal. They didn't. Now the Warriors have all the confidence. The Lakers' confidence has shrunk. The Lakers are in trouble. And you know, you talked a little bit about LeBron. No, LeBron's not the same player. He's not the ageless wonder that he once was. You know, but you let all these bronze sexuals tell the story. He's the greatest player in the world, right?
Still is. He can't do anything wrong.
Right. He can never do anything wrong. He's the face of the team. That's not me hating on LeBron. I have nothing against LeBron. I love LeBron. Hell, I like what the man stands for, on and off the court. I think he's an amazing person. But look, he's not the same productive player that he once was. He's not the superstar of the team. It's Anthony Davis's team now. Anthony Davis has to show up and show out. Did Anthony Davis Paul Pierce it? Maybe. What was that for show? Maybe. He did take quite an elbow to the face. I mean, I will say that, but we all know that the Lakers can be a little dramatic. They, you know, the melodrama sometimes shows when they're on the floor. We know that some of their players can win an Academy Award for flopping and making things more than what it really is. But the Lakers, man, there's no time for messing around. They can't mess around in Game 6. I will tell you this: if they don't beat the Warriors, in Game 6, and this series extends to a 7th game, the Lakers can forget it. The Lakers are in trouble. Game 7 is a loss, going back to the Bay Area in a hostile environment. There's no way the Lakers pull that out. But LeBron James' numbers has been paltry. LeBron has been passive at times. It annoys the hell out of me. I wish he would use his physical strength to attack the basket a little bit more, draw some contact, get to the free throw line. LeBron can be physically good. He could be physically smart. Sometimes he lacks sound judgment as a basketball player. Anthony Davis just needs to be a bit more that over plane flying over here. But Anthony Davis has to be more of the tone setter. He has to be the guy that comes out early, attacks the basket, establish a post game, use his size, use his wingspan, be aggressive on both ends of the floor. He has to be a two-way player. He has to defend really well. He has to swat shots. He has to help the Lakers get out in transition. The Lakers need to feed AD the ball if they want to win. If they don't feed him the ball, they don't give him enough touches, the series is over. The series is over. You heard the NBA on TNT crew. They were giggling about Davis's injury Wednesday night. They were ridiculing him for the use of a wheelchair. They can't win a championship without him. They just can't win a championship without him. For the playoffs, Davis has been easily the league's most dominant defensive force. I mean, we can't really argue that, averaging 4 blocks, 2 steals, 14 rebounds, along with his average of 22 points. But sometimes the Lakers' performances are just so inexcusable, what's the other word for it? Unacceptable. It's so damn pathetic to watch the Lakers on some nights, and then I get the criticism from Laker fans saying, "Well, I don't know basketball. That I need to relax." Hey, you know what? Someone needs to be critical of this team, because sometimes this team is just too damn inconsistent. They're too lackadaisical. They're lazy, and they just don't play smart basketball. They don't play top level basketball, and quite honestly, they play down to their competition.
Well, as I give Rob Pelinka credit for this team is not a championship level team. I mean, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. I mean, they got hot, right? They got hot at the right time. They got the Memphis Grizzlies when John Morant was going through his mental health issues. They got without let's face it, if the Grizzlies had Adams and Clark playing instead of injured for the rest of the year, they might have been in trouble in that series. Let's just be straight up honest with ourselves. They got lucky with that. And then they get lucky with the Warriors not taking care of business. Not their fault. They took care of business, but the Warriors did not. And they stole game 1. Then the Warriors came back to game 2. But with Anthony Davis being your leading, like, that's a big fella, man. Like, transition D for y'all is horrible. And I think the Warriors have figured that out. Y'all's transition defense is just god awful. It is. And the Warriors have finally took advantage of that, putting Gary Payton in for Kevon Looney and going small and just running up and down the court on Maybach. It's on missed baskets, and it's wearing down LeBron and AD. Now you're seeing AD have these great first halves, right? And now it's come second, fourth quarter, he's out of gas. Like what was it, game 4? He was hiding in the corner, not even in the offense at all. And your star player cannot do that. Like we just saw just now, the Boston Celtics forcing a game 7 tonight. Jason Tatum, 7 points all throughout the game. We cannot hit a shot. Hit back-to-back threes to give him a 6-point lead, and that's what you need your star players to do, right? Like, you need your star players to show up in the crucial moments, and AD has done that. But with being Anthony Davis and the conditioning and the big fella that he is, he just can't run up and down the floor like the Warriors can, and that's what's in the entire amount in the fourth quarter. So they need to have him consistent throughout 4 quarters instead of just the first half. Now, tomorrow night, I do believe I think the first half is going to tell a lot, right? I think the first half is going to tell if the Lakers come out, the role players play better at home, Schroeder, Reeves, everyone's going to have a better game. They just play better at home. If the Lakers are down or close going into half, or they're barely leading at half, or the Warriors are leading at half, or whatever the case may be, if the Lakers are not blowing out the Warriors in the first half, Lakers could be in some trouble because LeBron James is hurt. Let's be honest. He hurt his foot again last night. He's hurt. I think he needs surgery. I think he needs surgery at the end of the year. He's not going to admit that, but I do think that he is going to need surgery. Like I said, both these teams are wildly inconsistent. There's a reason why they're 6 and 7 seed. Let's just be straight up honest with ourselves. These teams are not. Right now they're not championship level teams, as the Warriors are the defending champions. But the Warriors have their own issues with Poole. Wiggins might be out tomorrow night with a rib injury. He's questionable. That just came out tonight. Wiggins, so that's going to be a big blow for you too. So role players are going to play better at home. But one thing I do like Nick Wright, if you watch Nick Wright, he's like, oh, the Warriors or the Lakers are going to win game 1, 3, 4, and 6. Well, the problem with that, not trying to win game 5, like y'all should have won last night. This is not the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a championship team who has been down 3-1 before. They were just down 2-1 to the Sacramento Kings, and they won, and they lost game 6 at their own home court, and they won 2 back-to-back road games as well. This team, I think, has won 20 straight, at least one road game in the last 20 straight playoff series. So they have one more shot tomorrow night, and I think, and you got to remember, man, if you're a Laker fan, this has also got to worry you. Klay Thompson's been off. He has been off like the last 3 games. He only scored 12 points last night. Him and Steph Curry have not shut the ball well from 3. Steph Curry's getting this. Don't say it's the Lakers defense, because Steph Curry's getting the same looks that he always gets, and he knocks him down against the Sacramento Kings when he scored 50 points. And then Klay Thompson's also missing wide open shots. Game 6 Clay, man. It's not a joke. It's a real thing. Game 6 Clay is a real thing. He saved their season against Oklahoma City Thunder in 2016. Steph Curry can have 50-point anytime you want to. Draymond starting to fill out AD a little bit. He's starting to get his motor running a little bit more. Poole he didn't have a great game last night, but he played under control last night. See that carries over. Championship pedigree is no joke. And everyone talks about the Laker championship pedigree. It's just Anthony Davis and LeBron James who've had championships on that team. The whole other roster, I mean, this is like most of them their first playoff series besides like Schroeder. I think Schroeder played a playoff game a couple of years ago. But Warrior, the key in this game tomorrow night is whoever has the hot start is going to win this game. If the Lakers come out and they're up double digits by halftime, I think the Lakers are easily going to win this game. But if the Warriors keep it close, watch out. I think the Warriors can take it. But I want to put it past LeBron James and the Lakers to win a Game 7 on the road. He's done it before. Nothing surprises LeBron James, Anthony Davis. They all been there. They've been in tough playoff games. Those 2-star players. So everyone talking about how let's not wait Game 7. We got to win Game 6. Game 6 is a must-win for the Lakers. I don't buy that. LeBron James has seen it. There's no pressure. Both these Lakers shouldn't even be here. So really, all the pressure's on the Warriors. But man, it's just I just think that's a series to go 7. I think the NBA fans deserve a Game 7, and I do believe that. But I don't know. I mean, it's just fun. But there's some podcasters out there, I'm not going to say, that get on my nerves and don't know anything about basketball, giving me hell. And I just wish he would delete me from Facebook and everything like that. But everyone knows who I'm talking about. I just can't stand him. He's a kid that wannabe, and I can't. Like, he doesn't know anything about basketball. But all I know is if the Warriors do come back, which I still think the Lakers are going to win tomorrow night. I'm a Warriors fan, but I do think the Lakers are going to win tomorrow night. But if the Warriors somehow come back and make this a Game 7, you don't want to see me on social media. I'm telling you that right now.
Scotty chimes in here and says, Warriors fan here, but tomorrow's game between your Lakers and my Dubs going to be very interesting. Absolutely, because you left the door open for the Warriors, and the Warriors have been here before. They have seasoned veterans. They have star power. They live and die by the 3. Whoa. Hey, that has become the model. That's the model of their game, right? That's the style of play.
Who lives and dies by the 3?
I guess that's 90% of the NBA now.
Well, you're saying the Warriors hit 1 3-point shot last night in the second half.
True.
One.
That's true.
The narrative that the Warriors are a 3-point shot. They're not. They take the shot that's given to them. Yeah, they can hit threes. That's what they're not like. That's how they can hit these miraculous threes. But they're not shooting the lights out from 3. They outscored the Lakers in the paint last night. So all this narrative that the Warriors are 3, yes, they shoot the 3 ball really well, but they're not just a 3-point shooting team. Like Boston Celtics are a 3-point shooting team. They live and die by that 3-point shot. Tonight they hit 5 threes in the first quarter. The Lakers are kind of falling in that trap a little bit the last 2 games. That's on Game 4 and Game 5. They're like LeBron James especially. They're hitting. They're settling for that 3. The Warriors are trying to paint.
They're trying to mimic the style of other teams play. And it's not going to work for them. It's not who they are. It's not their DNA. I wish they would go back to the basics and stick with the fundamentals, but they're not going to do that, especially if they get outshot by the Warriors. They're going to start playing their style of play. They're going to start settling. They're going to start just firing up any shot, hoping that it goes in. It's not as if anyone is daring you to shoot the basketball.
I mean, there's a reason why Vandergrift is in the starting lineup the first couple games, and now he's hardly even playing at all, right? Like they're forcing. Right. But you're talking about the Warriors settling for 3. Don't you have to give some credit to the Warriors defense for that? Like adjusting to that, like Anthony Davis and like, okay, Anthony, we know you're going to get some, but no one else is going to come in this paint and clogging the wall. Like, you know what I mean? Like LeBron James is settling because he's hurt. He's old and he's hurt.
But they played zone in Game 1, and
yeah, they never went back to that, which I'm really shocked. It worked.
I don't understand why they didn't stick with that formula, because that worked. It benefited them. It served them really well, but they didn't stick with zone. I'm interested to see if they go back to zone tomorrow, since it kind of slowed down the pace of the game. The Lakers didn't look like themselves. They're going to have to rediscover their offense tomorrow, though. But it all starts by playing smart basketball, taking the right shot at the right time, not settling, not attempting all these ill-advised shots. And the Lakers are going to have to defend the three. They're going to have to defend really well. I mean, you didn't see that same effort and energy from the Lakers.
They're tired, dude.
They're continuity. Tired. You're right.
They're tired.
They're exhausted. They're gassed. And at some point, I've been saying this, the playoffs is a battle of attrition. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it. You know, but the Lakers, man, they got another opportunity. And if they don't win it tomorrow, like my good friend Justin here, who's watching the show, Justin, he said tomorrow night's definitely a must win. And I mean, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. But you think that the Lakers can still grind it out in game 7? I don't know how I feel about that. I think I lean more towards Justin's take on that because, I mean, I feel like if the Warriors win tomorrow night, it's over. To me, it's over.
Can I, in all intents and purposes, like if the Warriors win tomorrow night, which I still think the Lakers are, but I'll be ecstatic. Like that'll make my weekend all the much better if the Warriors win tomorrow because I don't have to listen to Nick Wright anymore. But anyway, but I mean, there is a game set, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times. But I will say this: going back to game, and people are not like as a Laker fan, you're a huge Laker fan. Do you have put game 4 yard down 7 in the fourth quarter? No one's hitting a shot. Y'all got lucky. Lonnie Walker, who has not sniffed any playing time, got hot. It scored 15 points. 15. That was on the. Are y'all kind of counting on that again in game 6 and game 7? If there is a game 7, I mean, are you going to count on your role player? That's what I'm talking about. Like, if Lonnie Walker doesn't go for 15 and the Warriors don't turn the ball over, Warriors might have won this last night. I like everyone's talking about the Lakers have outplayed the Warriors. They haven't. Go look at the last 3 games. The last 2 games, the Warriors have won 6 of the last 4 quarters. The Warriors have won the 6 of the last 4 quarters. The Warriors have figured something with putting Gary Payton in. Now Marvin Ham has not, or whatever his stupid name is, Ham, which we don't flop, whatever the case. No, I hate that. Oh, I'm going to get into that a little bit later too. But he has not adjusted to the Gary Payton starting lineup thing yet. He hasn't, and I think that the Lakers do need to win this game to get the because if they do go down, I know LeBron and AD are not going to get their heads down, but these other young stars like Austin Reeves, Schroeder, all of them who've been talking a lot of, especially Schroeder, who gave Draymond Green that dirty look after game 4 after he stole the ball from him at the end of the game, which I cannot stand that guy. But whatever the case may be, he's a hell of a player and he's Energizer Bunny. I get all that. But I just don't think it's a must-win game. It's a must-win for the Warriors. The Warriors are going home if they lose. That's plain and simple. But if you're the Lakers, you do need to take care of business, and that's why I'm with Skip. I don't agree with Skip Bayless a lot, but he did say you should have kept the champs down when you had the chance. And they were trying to win that game in game 5, but they just ran out of gas. And this every other day thing, games, is killing the Lakers. They're running out of gas in that third or fourth quarter. They are. It hurt. It hurt them that the Lakers or the Warriors did not finish game 6 against the Sacramento Kings, where they could have got a couple more days off and they got that 3-day break like the other teams got, right? Like the Celtics series and not the Celtics series, the Knicks series and the other series, but they got that 3-day, 4-day rest. And they didn't because they had to wait, right? So I think it hurts them a little bit, but I just don't agree. I've been seeing basketball since how old am I? 36. I've watched 34 years. I've been watching. I've seen 2016 when LeBron came back from 3-1. Everyone thought it was over and it's a must win each game has a story of its own, and that's why I love the NBA because each game's different. Like you expect this to happen, or this to happen, but I do worry about the Lakers conditioning right now. I really do. I just think they look tired. I do. I think Steph Curry can run. He runs like 30 miles a game. He's always in condition. Poole never get tired. He's only 22 years old. Gary Payton is an Energizer Bunny. Draymond Green seems like he never gets tired. Kevon Looney is the only one on the Warriors who seems to get. Wiggins he never gets tired. He can play 48 minutes, but if he doesn't play tomorrow night, which he is questionable right now with the rib injury, look for the Lakers to win this one pretty easily if Wiggins doesn't play.
Yeah. Before we wrap this up, man, the Lakers, man, they barely stand afloat. In this series, like you said, they're tired, and you can see it some nights. Imagine if they played back to back nights, they would really be in trouble. They would have completely drowned by now. They would have drowned out of their misery by now if we're keeping it real. And that's not to sound negative to all the delusional Laker fans on here
No.
watching, because that's just the truth. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. But in order to win, and this gonna be my final take on this before we move on. Davis has been the key to the Lakers' success this postseason, primarily because of what he brings on the defensive end. And the offense has been up and down. He has proven to be arguably the best player on that end of the floor as well, and has what the Lakers need. He has been able to provide that on both ends of the floor as well. He's been locked in and focused, and if they are to, take out the defending champs, they need him to be 100% healthy. They need him to be on the floor as they prepare for the biggest game of the season on Friday night. And I'll just leave it at that as we'll move on to our next topic. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Celtics now. I know Trey has been watching that game, and he can give me an update on that game. Trey, what is the update on that game as of right now?
The Celtics hold on and win by like 9 points. Celtics were trailing late with like 3 minutes left to go in that, or 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter by like 2 points. And then Jason Tatum, who could not hit the right side of the barn, to be honest with you, hits back-to-back threes, does everything right, gets steals, does everything. Smart held him in the game with 20 points. So, once again, Doc Rivers proves why he should not be a head coach in Philadelphia next year, because he once again loses an elimination game, which his team could advance, and they lost. So Celtics get the moment. But man, going to this game, the Celtics are a better team. They just get in their own freaking way. Just like I guess you can say the Lakers, right? Like this whole NBA season, like there's not been a dominant team this year. You watch basketball. You're the same age as I am. Each year we can like say, oh, the Chicago Bulls are going to win this year because they're the best team. The Lakers are going to win when Kobe and Shaq were there. The Warriors are going to win. The Heat are going to win. This is the first year I can remember in so long that I don't know who's going to win. Like it has a college atmosphere kind of feel to it. Like you don't know what's going to happen each day and each night. Usually we can kind of script this thing. The Celtics are probably the best team remaining in the playoffs, to be honest, from top to bottom. But I just don't. The head coaching for the Celtics is questionable to me. Ever since they hired this, whatever his freaking name, I can't even say his name.
Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, him. He's an offensive coach. Their defense, last year they were ranked number 1 in the defense. Now they're down at the bottom in defense efficiency. The Celtics, they have the two best players. They have 2 players who made all NBA team this year. No other team can say that. Well, yeah, no other team can say that this year with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They just get in their own way, just like everyone else in this league. It's a wide open league. The Celtics seem like they have the momentum right now. But would I be shocked if Philadelphia goes in there and wins Game 7? You know what I mean? Like it's sort of like the Warriors-Lakers series, right? Everyone's talking about it's a must-win for Philadelphia tonight. No, it's not. Have you watched the NBA this year? No team has been dominant this year. No team. We all thought Milwaukee was a dominant team. They got out in 5 games against Miami Heat. I guess you can say the Miami Heat have been the most the best team in these playoffs from winning 5, and then but they've been getting hot with 3-point shooting team, but there's not one dominating team this year. It's just fun to watch. But Celtics force a Game 7. It's going to be Sunday afternoon, probably at 12 o'clock. It depends on this Lakers-Warriors series, if they go 7 or not, because if they go 7, that's what I'm interested in. If they do go 7, where are they going to put this Lakers? Because God forbid they put it at 2:30 on a Mother's Day, dude. No one's going to watch. No one's going to watch. I'm serious. I hate that. Like it's noon your time, but 2:30, like right. That's right after church with us and Mother's Day. Like no mom is going to let their husbands watch basketball on Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, then he's gonna give me a hard time for sure. No question about it.
So yeah, but I don't know. I mean, what's your take on the Celtics? Like,
well, you. I mean, you hit it on the nail. I mean, everything you said was like perfectly articulated. Like, you're right about the Celtics. They get in their own way. And another thing with the Celtics, they like to adjust on the fly. And that doesn't always work in the playoffs. You have to prepare. You have to improvise. That's something that the Celtics don't do. You know, they don't really go into the game. It seems from what I've seen, they don't really go into the game with a game plan. And you saw how sloppy it was the other night when they lost in ugly fashion. I mean, they got their butts kicked by the Sixers. They got completely demoralized. It was demolition. That's what it was. I mean, a loss like that sometimes is deflating. They bounced back tonight. They tied the series. There's a 7th game now. There's going to be a game 7 because they did respond. But the Celtics, they're not that same team that they were a year ago. They're just not. I mean, I feel like something is missing with the team. And like you said, their defensive efficiency is rock bottom, it seems. They don't defend as well. They don't commit to playing defense like they used to. And that was the backbone for them, right? That was their foundation. Was their defense. Their foundation was their defense because they really were tough under Ime Udoka. They were tough. They were tough-minded. They were physical. You know, we're talking about a team that played with a high level of physicality, that had that in-your-face toughness, that looked very intimidating. Now this year, you look at that team and you're like, oh, this is it? This is who we're playing against? Why are we afraid of you? Why are we so terrified? There's nothing to be afraid of. You guys are an average team just like everybody else. And that's how people are approaching the series when they played the Celtics. It's not as challenging as it once was when they played the Celtics. And then Jason Tatum, man, he takes forever to get going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he takes forever to get going. And that's another thing with the Celtics. And then they committed a lot of fouls the other night. They put the Sixers on the free throw line too much. I mean, the Celtics are just, like you said, they just get in their own way. And I think when you look at the Celtics, they're not a team that you would say, hey, they're a title contending team. They don't strike you as a title contending team. They just don't.
Well, Philadelphia doesn't either, right? Like Philadelphia, like they get in their own way as well too. Like,
and that's the thing, right? They don't even have as much depth as the Celtics. You look at the Celtics, and the Celtics are deep. That's what's puzzling about the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Well, you touched on something earlier. It was what's different about this team. It's the coaching. This head coach for the Celtics, he's not a defensive coach. He doesn't have the voice that Ime Udoka had last year. Like, they listened to him. He was a defensive-minded coach, but he couldn't keep his mind straight with his whatever. I'm not going to get into that. There's children watching. But anyway, if they had Udoka this year, I do believe that they'll be the number 1 seed. I think they've already would have clinched the second round. I truly do. I think they listened to Udoka. I don't think they got the respect for this coach as they did for Udoka. I straight up believe that. Now, going to Philadelphia's side, I love Doc Rivers as a human. I love him as everything in the world. I think he's a great human being. Let's just be. If it wasn't for that super team in the Boston Celtics in 2008, he would not have a championship. He doesn't know how to win the clutch game. Remember, they had the best record. They're the number 1 seed against Atlanta Hawks team, who had 30 games below 500 in the Eastern Conference. Back when the Eastern Conference was, the Atlanta Hawks took them to 7 games. In fact, I think they even had the lead early in that game in the 7th game, and they could have. Then they went 7 games in the second round. Doc Rivers, I don't think can coach playoff basketball. I'm just gonna say it. That's a hot take. I'm just gonna say it.
You know what? I agree with you 100%. This is a guy whose teams fold under pressure.
How many
three
ones that he's lost?
Yes, he has coached teams that have blown 3-1 leads. I mean, some coaches are just not built for the playoffs. You just ask George Cole. You know, he was a good coach. He can get you there, but his team could never finish the job. Like these are some coaches that are just built to guide teams to the playoffs, and that's it. The run comes to an end. We've seen that in the NFL with Marty Schottenheimer. Marty Schottenheimer had a great track record during the regular season, had a great resume during the regular season. I mean, you look at his resume, the numbers are eye-popping. The numbers are there. He had all the statistics in the world, but when the games count the most, his teams could never prevail. The same could be said about freaking Dave Roberts here in Southern California. If you're a Dodger fan, you see it year after year. The team chokes on Dodger dogs every damn October. Same thing could be said about him too. So it's just some coaches that they're good during the regular season, but when it matters the most and when you need to win on the big stage, they just can never guide their teams deep into the postseason or to the finals or to a championship win. And we see that all the time. That's customary.
Yeah, I forgot about Robert. Like they do win World Series, but I'm like, that's the bubble year, just like the Lakers. Whenever Lakers just win in bubble COVID years.
Well, I'll take it. Even if it's an abbreviated season, I'll take it.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that I just forgot about that. That's just a little thing there. Yeah, you're right about Dave Roberts. Like he's had the best. What was it last year? They had like 116 wins or whatever the case may be, and he blew. Like he's had the best teams on all base. But baseball's a little different. Like whoever gets hot wins that series. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Like whoever gets hot is gonna win that. This has the Houston Astros against the Nationals, who that was a weird World Series. But anyway, this is
before we move on. Who wins Game 7 of the Boston Philly series?
I just can't see Boston losing 2 straight at home. I just can't. I think Joel Embiid is he's giving his all. He's proven why he's an MVP this year. But they're going to need another James Harden like get a 40-point game to have a shot even to win this. I truly believe. I think Jason Tatum's not going to shoot the ball terrible at home. I think the role players play better at home. I think the Celtics love playing on a tight rope, I guess you can say. And I just can't see the Celtics losing. Like everything in front of them, I just can't. But I will say this: if the Celtics do win the series, Doc Rivers is going to be unemployed.
Oh, of course.
He's going to be unemployed.
Oh, he's out the door. I've been saying that as well. I'm with you, though. I think Boston, even though their offense can get off to a bit of a cold start, a cold start, excuse me.
How many beers have you had?
I think they could just one. I think they could get into a rhythm. If they struggle to find a scoring rhythm, it'll be a long night for them. I think they have to be more aggressive in the painted area. I think they will win this series. I got to go with Boston. They're at home. They're in front of their home crowd. The noise in the building will be intensified. I don't see the Celtics losing this game. I don't think their stagnant play will continue to hinder their success. I think they'll be fine, and they got Jason Tatum. Despite a few slow starts, I think he'll be settled in. I think he'll be ready to go. I think he'll score a lot of points. You got Jaylen Brown. You got guys that can score. I know this team has been a bit confusing. It's been some confusing scoring nights from two of the best wing players in the league. They have produced a pedestrian effort at times, but I think the Celtics will be just fine. The Celtics are a team that can turn it on at any given time. Boston's aggressiveness will show at some point. It's going to have to if they want to win. And I think they can be a threat. I think they can go on a run. And I think we will see a stretch in which their offensive run can offset their uninspired defense. I think they'll be fine.
I think this is the Eastern Conference Finals. I know next round actually is, but I think this is the Eastern. I don't think Miami's been good, but I just don't see Jimmy Butler carrying them against either one of these teams. But
Butler's hobbled and battered, but it's amazing that the man stays on the court, stays on the floor.
And Duncan Robinson, who's been benched and at the end of the bench all season long, and all of a sudden he can make three. Like the Miami Heat are just getting hot from three. I think they're starting to die down a little bit as well.
Oh, Jimmy Neutron, huh?
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron. He got that big.
He's coming on nice.
He is, but he kind of reminds me of Jordan Poole, right? Like he got paid, and then all of a sudden, like he stopped doing what he did best. Like he got his bag, and that's what classifies the great players from the role players to not playing in the league anymore. Is because Jordan Poole got the bag, and now he's not doing whatever he wants to, and he's putting his feelings in his way, and just because he got the bag, thinks he should be playing more. I'm like, whatever, do whatever the case may be. But you say you feel confident. I don't feel confident at all. Who's gonna I think Celtics should win, but I thought they should have won Game 5. I don't know. I mean, this has been a weird season, but I will say this: I do for league purposes. I think that in deep down in their hearts, I think they want Boston versus LA in the finals. I do for that 18 championship. I truly believe that, but I just don't see how the Lakers are going to make it. I truly don't, even if they get past this series.
Of course, that's what the league wants. The ratings will go through the roof.
But the ratings will go through the roof with the Warriors, man. The Warriors have drawn the most NBA fans on NBA markets all season long, even though they've been crappy. But that's what Steph Curry does for you. Steph Curry is, I think he's I think he's a top 10 player. I think he's number 8 all time.
Oh, he's the purest shooter.
I think people just I hate to go off topic here, but Steph Curry, people think that he doesn't play defense. The dude plays defense. The dude plays. He's not great. He's not great all the time, but he knows how to play D. He just can't pick on him like he used to back in the day. And he does so much more. Like he's not a true point guard. Okay, I'll show you. And he got 12 and 13 assists in the last 2 games. Steph Curry is with age, he's getting better. I think he's better now than he was. And JJ Redick said this. I think he's better now than he was when he won his MVPs. I truly believe that. I really do.
Well, what it is, those numbers get lost in a stack of papers because the numbers that pop out at you are his offensive numbers, what he's doing on that end of the floor. Everyone pays more attention to his scoring ability, his scoring efficiency, his shot-making abilities, his ability to create on the offensive side of the floor, his ability to work off the pick and roll, come off a screen and knock down a 30-foot jumper or something like that. So that's what people pay attention to more. He is more known for what he does as a three-point specialist because we all know how great of a three-point shooter he is. He's a basketball Mavion is what he is. He's a basketball Mavion. The dude is amazing. There's nights that he can't miss. So we all know that about Steph Curry. But let's move on to the next topic because we're getting close to the end of the show. We're almost down to the final minutes here. I got a good question for you, Trey, because a lot of people have asked me my thoughts and opinions about this, and it's about AD. I mean, not about AD. It's about KD. We're going to talk a little bit about Kevin Durant because a lot of people are saying, and this is what we've been hearing, right, about KD. I know you probably heard it a number of times as well. What a serious loss would mean for KD's legacy?
Nothing. This year, nothing. Let me straight up honest with you, nothing. I mean, he got traded in the trade. Remember, he was hurt when he got traded, and then he comes back, he gets hurt again. The only problem is it's getting hurt. Like everyone talks about AD getting hurt. KD has not been healthy since that miraculous shot again, where his foot was too big for the 3-point line, and they would have went on to the what was it, 2021 when they played the Milwaukee Bucks and Milwaukee won the championship. Remember, if KD hits that 3, they go on and probably win the championship. But since that he's been injured. That's part of his legacy. He's always hurt. But everyone talks about AD. KD's been hurt more than AD has. I mean, try to rhyme all that together, but whatever the case may be. This year, I don't think it's going to do anything for his legacy because they don't have the Phoenix Suns had to wash out their entire bench, and KD and Devin Booker are going all out. Like they're doing their job. They're scoring 80 points a night, but there's only so much you can do without a bench, without helping you out. Now, if you ask me this question next year, yes, because next year then they'll have a whole full offseason with each other. They will have. I don't think Chris Paul is going to be part of this tandem next year. I think Chris Paul's done after this series because he can't stay healthy, and he's 38 years old. Your age. He's your age while you're drinking a beer. This year I just don't think there's anything about his legacy that's going to be tarnished. Now, if he doesn't win a ring by the time he is retired, and the only 2 rings he does have is with Golden. I'm a Golden State guy, and I love the move when KD came because I was like, why y'all criticizing KD whenever LeBron did the same? I know LeBron didn't do the same thing, but he kind of did, right? He kind of started the super team era going with the top Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and so KD's like, well, why can't I do that? But he's proven why he was the X factor in that series against LeBron James and how they won 8-1 in those 2 series back to back. And but if KD can just stay healthy for a full season and during a playoff season and have a full off season with Devin Booker and Monty Williams and the Phoenix Suns, and the Phoenix Suns can make some more trades or bring some people in to shore up that bench, and then next year they do go out, then yes, like KD's legacy is going to be tarnished by some. But this year I give him a pass. I'm giving him a pass because they've only played 16 games together. I mean, let's just be straight up honest with ourselves. I just don't think that you should criticize this guy's legacy on this year alone. But if he only wins these 2 rings and is with Golden State, then you can start thinking maybe kick him out of the top.
That's fair enough.
Top 15 of the league, all-time grades, I believe. I just don't see it. But KD is a phenomenal player, and I think if he can just stay healthy, I think his legacy will be fine. But if I can see KD winning 2 more rings. I can see it happening with the Phoenix Suns probably next year. I think not this year because they're down right now to Denver, but
that's fair enough. I can see that. Yeah, you make a good point. Look, I understand why people are saying his legacy could be tarnished if the Suns don't get to the finals, if the Suns don't reach the NBA finals. I understand where it's all coming from. I understand why people support that narrative as well. And it's because he was on a Brooklyn team that got swept a year ago. A Brooklyn team that
was good. But those 4 games were the closest games all throughout the series. Like they could have gone either which way. Like
exactly. And KD said it himself. KD dismissed the importance of his NBA legacy. He said to the media, I truly don't care. So, I mean, that tells you where the man's priorities is. You know, he doesn't really care about his legacy. Durant is not concerned with how he is perceived. And the legacy no longer concerns him. You know, people are going to say what they're going to say about him. Some people are going to measure his greatness on the number of championships he wins. I've never been one to measure someone by the number of championships they win. I also look at their individual accolades, what they've achieved as a player, the number of teams they played for as well. Sometimes you have to throw that on the list too. But I think his mindset has shifted more to winning another championship. He has shown anywhere that he goes that he has had a significant impact on the team. I mean, you can make that argument, right? That his presence has really been felt no matter where he plays.
Yeah, if he doesn't join Golden State, I think LeBron has 2 more rings. Like, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers feel like Draymond Green said it best on his podcast. The reason they got KD because the league caught up to the Warriors. Like, they figured him out. They kind of figured him out a little bit, and that's why they wanted KD. KD, say what you want to, KD is a phenomenal player. The reason I don't like KD brought it on himself too a little bit with all this burner accounts and like the meat, like and like
being overly sensitive and stuff like that.
Like to the media and everything. But I will blame one person for like I truly believe they would have won championship if they would have stuck together if Sam Presti didn't trade James Harden. I truly believe that because all of them are young, they got a taste, and they fit really well together. Like James Harden coming off the bench and everything. Sam Presti wanted to save money, and I didn't understand it. I truly just didn't like. It was like the Dallas Mavericks all over again. Like they win a championship, and they all want to run a bet. And nope, we got to save money. Why? Like you're going to bring money in if you keep winning. Yeah, who cares about your luxury tax? But you can pay it by all the people coming to your games, right? Like win champions. Like Golden State found that out. That's why they've been so good. They don't care about paying the luxury tax because they know they can make it up in whatever, like selling merchandise and everything like that because they're winning championships. So I blame Sam Presti for a little bit of this. And then Kevin Durant brought himself with the media thing, like being overly too sensitive with the media and the burner accounts and stuff like that. And now he's saying he doesn't care about his legacy. I guarantee you he cares about his legacy. I truly think he wants to be one of the top 10 players of all time. But for him to I think Steph has passed him on that. But if Kevin Durant wins 2 more rings, Steph doesn't win another one, I can totally see Kevin Durant getting in that top 10 of all time, and his legacy will be. But this year, okay, let me ask you this. The Phoenix Suns, before they got KD, were they any title, like, were there any talk about title contenders or anything like that? They're what? They're fighting with the Lakers and the Warriors for the 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th seed.
There was fighting chaos. There was some chemistry issues with the team. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, so KD came and what happened? Oh, they're instant title contenders, right? All because of one person.
Yeah, but they don't have a strong bench. They traded away. Exactly. They traded away their bench in that deal.
That's my point. Is because but people are still saying, oh, they can still win it with Devin Booker and KD.
I don't.
That's why I'm giving them a pass this year because we weren't talking about the Phoenix Suns being championship level talented team until KD came in, and then KD they only played 16 games together all throughout the year. It takes time to gel. It really does.
Hey, that boy Devin Booker though, he's a bad man. Y'all better recognize.
Oh, he is a bad man.
He got that killer instinct suddenly, and he's. I mean, I don't want to compare him to Kobe Bryant, but I see a resemblance there. I see a guy trying to emulate the style of play.
He's got to grow up a little bit.
Yeah, he does. He's
a whiny. I know Kobe whined to the left, but Devin Booker goes.
Yeah, he whines a little bit too much to the officials, but a lot of the players whine to the officials. I mean, you know what? It's human nature, Trey. We all whine. I think we just don't realize it as people. You know,
I'm a big whiner.
Yeah, there's moments we whine. I mean, that's just human nature. And if anybody tell you otherwise, they're a liar.
But what I'm saying about Devin Booker, everyone whines. I'm saying that, but he whines every single call, every single. Like he'll hack a guy over the head, and he's like, "I didn't touch him," or he misses a shot. They fouled me. No, they didn't, dude. Just go back and play deep. And I will give him credit for this playoff. His defense has raised this year in the playoffs. Like he's playing phenomenal defense in these playoffs. But going back to his legacy thing, next year I think DeAndre Ayton's gone, Chris Paul's gone, and you can trade DeAndre Ayton for some good asset bench players. And then that's when I think next year we got to start talking about legacy and see if KD can stay healthy. That's my thing. This year, I hate this. I hate this discussion. I don't know why these are people who just want to have clickbait. This is all this is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's getting dark here. Nightfall is starting to set in here in Southern California. I know it's pretty late where you are in Texas. It's almost 10 o'clock there where you are. So, man, I'm going to let you give your final thoughts, man. It's been a pleasure. I love having you on. I've been wanting to collaborate with you for some time now because I know we used to do a lot of shows together, and those were some good times. I mean, I really had a lot of fun with you, Trey. We've talked baseball, we've talked basketball, we've talked football, we've done it all. So give your final thoughts, give your final take. Tell everyone where they can reach you, where they can find you, and what you got going
on. Okay, so thanks again for having me on. Yeah, it's been a blast. Like I said, I did a lot of podcasts. I think I wore myself out, but right now I'm concentrating on radio, trying to make my station a little bit better here in Kerrville, Texas, at Jam Broadcasting, Silent Reporter. I do all the sports updates and everything, which I got to do here in a minute. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Trey3025 right there on my sign. Instagram JC3 Show, and Facebook JC3 Show or Trey Collis. Like I said, it's been a blast. It's been fun. I enjoy being on here. I miss podcasting. Actually, I miss talking sports all the time. So, but one thing I do got to say to you, Jonathan, is, and I mean this from the deepest amount because I like you. Stop caring what people think about you. Stop posting what people think about you. Like, that's how you know you made it. Like, Skip Bayless makes these crazy talks and he doesn't care. Like, stop reading comments. Like, just keep doing you. You're doing great. I mean, you're hooked up with Dylan Beeks. He does a phenomenal job. You know that. Your views have already gone up. Your clicks have everything. Your subscribers, your YouTube channels. So keep doing that. Just stop pandering to the crowd. One Miss Joy, who always gets on you, and you. I love those comments.
Block out the crowd noise, right? And stop scoreboard watching.
Exactly.
To do. Right.
Just type your opinion and leave it alone. That's
Thanks for the advice, man. Thanks for the advice. I love you so much, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time out of your night. Thanks for being fully invested for the next hour. We'll definitely do this again. I'll definitely have you back on sometime.
Not the Lakers in the finals. I'm done.
Oh man, and to all our viewers and audience out there tonight, thank you guys. As always, none of this is possible without you guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel if you're watching this live stream from YouTube. Make sure you guys like and follow the fan page, The Sports Judge. And for my friend Trey and myself, you guys take care. You guys have a wonderful night. See you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.